Hi there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your October 2024 General Tarot reading. It's Rena here, Sun in Sagittarius myself. And just for full disclosure, I was starting this reading yesterday and I put down the Two of Pentacles, but I'm just going to start the reading all over again because I got interrupted and I decided to do it later. So just get fresh cards and woohoo! Gotta love that one. I'm gonna pick an additional card. Oh, jeez. I picked two additional cards. I do. Okay. I like that a lot better. And it's not cheating, I don't feel, to, pick additional cards because, first of all, the whole idea of a reading is to kind of give a full picture. And some of the cards, it's not just that, oh, wow, they're negative, but it's like what exactly is going on in that picture. It's not always that obvious. And I always tell a story as I progress throughout the reading. So the heart of the matter is the Hangman. The Hangman is a card of feeling suspended, meaning, this is the ultimate meaning as far as I'm concerned, that you're in between two phases of your life. There's something that, it's like being in a waiting room before you actually go into the main place. Yes, I do think sometimes this can be that a person feels like they're in a state of limbo, and that's kind of a similar way of putting it, except in those cases, it may be more that you feel powerless to change anything. Whereas if you're in between two cycles, it's, if you tune into things, you can be very like, conscious, and you're not going to be too worried about it. Like an example would be if you graduate college and you don't have a job lined up. Well, there might be a period of time when you feel a sense of, I don't know, aimlessness, or like being unsure, like what exactly is going to happen, but you still have a lot of structure around you, enough structure to not make you feel totally like you're just drifting. And so with the other interpretation, it can feel like more aimlessness, like I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't, I can't go here, I can't go there. And that can be very frustrating. So I don't know if any of you can relate to that. In the past position, we have the Six of Pentacles. This is a card of give and take. So this can, Pentacles can be practical matters like work or money. So let's say that you have put in a request at work for a raise and you haven't heard back yet, and you're not sure. They haven't given you any kind of date when they're going to tell you. So when you don't get those kind of, what do you call it? Like solid promises, let's say with an employer, it can feel like you're being jerked around. And that's sometimes what I see with the Hangman, is this feeling of like, I'm being left to hang. I'm being left to just kind of do what I've always done, but I'm looking for progress. I'm looking for change. The Six of Pentacles can also be in your private life. If you have, felt that you give more in a relationship than the other person, and you've kind of like brought it to their attention. Maybe they are dismissing it. Maybe they are acting like you're too demanding or whatever. And or maybe they've been feeding you empty promises. Whatever is going on, you may feel like you're between a rock and a hard place. That you know, if you were to leave that situation, then you would have to leave that person. And although you may feel this sense of like, frustration about the situation, you may still love that person or care about them, and you don't want to have to make such a decision. Six of Pentacles can be, it's one of the inheritance cards. So it can be, you know, like waiting to find out what's happening. Also, back to like getting a raise. With the Hangman, it could be, again, that they're leaving you. Yeah, I think I said that they're leaving you hanging. They're not telling you. And that could be just to string you along. The higher message is the Knight of Swords. This can be a card that change is coming. So whether you feel that stagnation, maybe the Hangman is a sense of, I don't know, feeling stagnant or unable to affect change. Change can be here regardless. Also, this can be like a lawyer, the Knight of Swords. So just in terms of who you're dealing with, it could be that that is the appropriate person, and or someone who, you know, is like a mediator, somebody who makes a living through their words. The Knight of Swords can be like, the swords are the air signs, so it has to do with communication. So whether it's a lawyer or someone who is an in-between negotiator, those types of people may be featured in your life at this time. Or maybe this is more of the spiritual message, that maybe you've been focusing on the wrong thing, focusing on your own inability, and maybe not what you need to be doing to make things happen. What crosses you is the Seven of Pentacles. This is a card of seeing the growth of something and kind of nurturing the growth of something. And there could be this, if for some of you, there might be impatience, that you want something now, and it's going to take time, and maybe you are somehow like, what's the word, unrealistic about it, and you need to be more on point with your like manifestations, that you're not just expecting everything overnight, that you're actually nurturing something. So, or turning your back on nurturing something. So I always think of, when I think of the Seven of Pentacles, I think about somebody's business that they've created for themselves. So maybe you had an idea of creating your own business, and then you kind of gave it up for some reason. And you might be seeing how when you're working for somebody else, you have to accept the fact that, you know, you're doing things on their time, or they're the ones that decide how much you make, and you have to put in some kind of offer or whatever request for more money. A lot of times, maybe, I don't know how that works. And maybe that's not really what you need at the moment. Maybe that's like an old paradigm for you. So I would say, and like with relationships, sometimes it's being too patient. If someone that's right below the hangman, if someone is stringing you along and they always make these promises, but there's never anything that is, forthcoming, then it's on you, like whether you decide to stay or whether you decide to go. This was the card that I was reacting to, what's coming in, the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. And this is a card that's, I believe, connected to Jupiter and Pisces. Well, Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. And Pisces for Sag is the fourth house of home and family. So, sometimes I look at that like, is this a timing card? Is this something good that's going to happen? A new home or the ability to have something along those lines. Maybe you've been waiting for something. Let's just use the example of you want to move or some kind of a new... Yeah, we had the lunar eclipse in Pisces, just the other week. And maybe that's something that is going to bring to you some sort of new home or, place to live, but it still feels like you're in between two worlds, that you haven't, like, you're not on the path to obtaining that, and at the same time, you're finished with something that you're currently dealing with. And I think that's entirely possible that, I do believe that a person can be finished with a job and they're still working at that job, or they're finished with a relationship and they're still in that relationship. The bottom line is that they know that it's run its course, but they also know they don't want to just pull the plug just yet for whatever reason. So, something along those lines can be very, it doesn't have to be those lines, but something could be making you feel very satisfied emotionally. I feel like this can even be a financially good card. And that's why it was so surprising when I got, as the outcome, the Five of Cups. Now, I want to just talk briefly, because something that's happening in October is the Libra solar eclipse on the 2nd. And just to let you know, the Five of Cups can be more... I probably said mourning the loss of something. But the Libra solar eclipse is like a powerful new moon. So we would expect new developments, new beginnings, things of that nature. However, the South Node is tied up with this. It's going to form a conjunction with this solar eclipse. So it could be about letting something go that no longer serves you. And sometimes when we're letting something go, there is a mourning that happens, because maybe it's something that we found pleasurable, but we still know it's not good for us. You can hold those two concepts at the same time inside of your head. And so then I was like, okay, well, let's see. I don't want to end on somebody mourning the loss of something. And then I got the Five of Pentacles. And I was like, oh, jeez. Well, the Five of Pentacles is a card. You could say the Five of Pentacles can be about money problems or unemployment and things like that. But I see it in a broader sense as lack consciousness, meaning that in this particular case, let's say that you decide that you're going to give up all forms of processed food, and that would include all of the junk food that you have, even if you have organic junk food. I always joke about that, having organic, cheese puffs. And that kind of thing is, pleasurable, but at the same time, you might find that it doesn't make you feel your best, and so you're going to give it up for whatever reason. Well, that reason, but other reasons too. And it can feel like a loss because it's like, okay, now what? And, you're looking for something to replace it maybe, or it just feels like something has been taken away from you, but you're going to be given so much more, and that's what the Nine of Cups is. So we have to just keep that in our mind. And actually, this is falling in the 11th house for Sagittarius, the house of hopes and wishes, and also gains. So there could be some major, developments with that area of your life. But there might be something that you have to say goodbye to at the same time, and so it's bittersweet. But that's okay. Life is like that sometimes. And the outcome card is the Nine of Pentacles. This is a card of financial security. I mean, not financial security, of financial independence, which, you could say is kind of similar. I'm so glad I ended on a Pentacles because, it kind of counters the Five of Pentacles. So the whole idea of the person who feels a sense of lack, maybe in a totally different area of life, but it leads to something really positive with their material resources. And I was reading about this, somebody saying how this can happen, like you do, maybe it's a certain spiritual practice and it helps your finances. You're not doing it because of that, but it is the outcome nonetheless, and that's the important thing. And I really feel that, I told you that I picked the Two of Pentacles. That was the only card that I picked when I did that reading yesterday. So there might be something going on where, you're fielding a particular job offer, or you're choosing between two job offers, and yet it still is a little bit tricky because you're not sure if it's going to lead anywhere. And maybe that's why you're hedging your bets, and you're just kind of like, and one more thing too about the Hangman, it can be let go and let God. You're surrendering to whatever situation you find yourself in. And if you have found that you haven't somehow had growth in a business or the work that you're doing, you're not maybe trying to make anything happen like in an overt way. Maybe you're just trying to let go of the need for it to be other than what it is, and that can lead to the things that you're really looking for, like the Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. It's interesting because the number 9 is, the Hermit card is numbered 9. 9 is a card of the spiritual, the light worker in numerology. But it's the house of Sagittarius, the 9th house, even though the Hermit is connected with Virgo for whatever reason. And so, yes, of course, this can be, but the 9, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, it can be about abundance, So, yeah, I hope that you like what you heard. If you'd like a private reading, I'm primarily an astrologer. I have astrology package deals. I've been reading for a lot of Sagittarians in the last few months. I don't know why. I don't think that's, I've been doing this for over 9 years. There's that 9 again. And, I don't remember having so many in one period of time. But I have, and that's been interesting because Sages aren't all alike, even when, we share the same sign. But anyway, I have career readings, love readings, package deals with natal chart interpretation and transits. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for watching. Bye.